everyone, and welcome back to Joe and Di's Allotment channel. I'm Joe and Di is behind the camera as always. Thank you very much, Di. We're going to make a sweet cucumber relish this morning, but you can make it spicy if you want to by adding some chili flakes to it, so it's down to your flavours basically, what you prefer. Once you've grown things down the allotment, you don't like to waste them, so even though these have gone beyond eating stage, we don't like to waste them, so we'll make them into a relish so we don't waste them basically. You could let them go to seed and use them, but it's very difficult to keep cucumber seeds. They do cross-pollinate very easily, except for the apple ones for some reason. They're okay to keep for seeds if you let them ripen completely and take the seeds out. I've done it before and they do stay viable and germinate back into apple cucumbers. Whereas sort of normal cucumbers, I think the recommendation is you sort of grow them a quarter of a mile away from other varieties, and you put fleece over them, hand pollinate them, to keep them pure and sort of not cross pollinated. It's a bit of a faff really. So other than the apple cucumbers, I've never tried to keep cucumber seeds. It's a bit too difficult. So yeah, we're going to make a cucumber relish with these beyond eating stage cucumbers today. So you need 500 grams of cucumber, 500 grams of onions, so we'll chop those in a minute. A couple of apples, I've got one green one and one red one that have fallen off the trees again. You need 325 ml of apple cider vinegar, and you need some salt, pepper to taste obviously, some spice, mustard and turmeric. Now that's a teaspoon of each there, but if you want to, you can also add a teaspoon of chili flakes if you want to make it a bit of a hotter relish than sweeter one. We prefer the sweeter one. And you need 250 grams of sugar as well. So what I'll do is I'll chop all the ingredients first, and then we'll come back and show you what we do. So what we do is we core the apples, put those in the compost bin, and we'll chop those into small chunks. So that's the apples chopped. Put those in the pan. So what we do is we peel the cucumbers, and we'll check the seeds inside. If they're tough, we'll take them out, but if they're still okay and soft, we'll leave them in. So the seeds have gone a bit hard and chewy. So what you do, just scrape them out. I'll just scrape them out with a teaspoon. They can go in the compost bin. Yeah, they're a bit tough. So that's the older cucumbers chopped up. I've had to add a few edible ones, just to bring it back up to 500 grams. So if they're nice and fresh and still edible, you don't have to take out the seeds and you don't have to peel them. It's only with the older ones because the skin's too tough and the seeds are too tough. So I'll chop these now, and then I'll chop the onions. These are freshly harvested onions. That's why I'm crying, I think. Peeling these is a nightmare. But yeah, I'll chop these and chop the onions, put them in the pan, and then we'll progress to the next stage. That's all chopped up now, the apple, the onion and the cucumber. I'm going to add 325 ml of apple cider vinegar. We'll put the heat on and bring that to the boil, and we'll cook that down for about 20 to 25 minutes before we add the sugar and then the rest of the ingredients. So that's cooking down nicely now, it's simmering. Just give it a stir occasionally, just so it doesn't stick to the bottom basically. We'll let that cook for another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll add the sugar. So that's been cooking for about 20 minutes now. So what we'll do now is put in the sugar. I'll put in a recipe at the end of the vlog as well. Stir that in until it's fully dissolved now. There's quite a lot of liquid in there, so it'll dissolve quite easily. And then I'll add the rest of the ingredients, and then Carry on cooking for another 20 odd minutes, stirring occasionally. So the sugar's more or less dissolved already. Yeah, that's good. So add the rest of the ingredients, which is the salt, the pepper, the mustard, the turmeric and the allspice. So chuck all them in. Give that a mix in. It's got a lovely colour. Change the colour. So basically carry on cooking for now 20 minutes until the sauce starts to sort of thicken up now really. So that will take another 15-20 minutes. And stir occasionally, and we'll come back at the end. So that's cooked down now thoroughly, and it's thickened up to the consistency we like. You could carry on cooking it a bit longer if you want to make it a lot thicker. Yeah, so it's a matter of that now putting that into a jar. Pre-sterilise your jar, wash it thoroughly in hot soapy water, and then sort of put it in the oven for 15 minutes at 160 degrees Celsius, just to make sure it's sterilised. So yeah, once you put it into the jar, you can store it for up to a year. But once you've opened the jar, I'd say put it in, refrigerate it, and then use it from there. You can use it in potato salads, you can use it with pasta, you can use it in sandwiches, it's quite nice. And also you can use it in for barbecues. So if you're having a barbecue, it makes a nice little side or addition to add to your barbecue. So yeah, so we'll spoon that into the jar now. Try not to make too much of a mess. Smells lovely actually. So that's filled up the jar with only a little bit left over, which I'll use later. So yeah, so close the jar up, let that cool down, and then as I said, that can go into storage now for up to a year. So a good way of using your cucumbers, if they've gone to sort of seedy hard stage, you can turn them into a nice relish, or if you've got a glut of fresher cucumbers, you can use those. The only difference will be that you don't have to peel them or de-seed them, because they'll be nice and soft to use. So yeah, great way of using some cucumbers up and putting them into storage. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Have a go, give us a thumbs up, or leave us a comment if you have a go and make it yourself, or you've got any other sort of chutneys or ideas for sort of using cucumbers for. Yeah, and if you'd like to follow our journey, please use the subscribe button at the bottom and follow our journey. We've sort of got trying to do garden tips, garden information, and how to preserve your crops as well. Thank you for watching.